Hi friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. Today we're going to be talking about the Potions and Spells launch from Glam Polish. This is a 10 piece collection launching on Thanksgiving Day in the United States, Thursday, November 28th for the rest of the world, and there will be some Black Friday deals associated with these polishes, and so I'm really excited to share this 10-piece collection with you. Okay, something that I love about Glam Polish is that they do not shy away from these super fun, kind of funky colors. This one is Confusing Concoction, and it is described as a chartreuse jelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter, and it is definitely chartreuse. It is a really lovely kind of yellowy green, and this is not one that I would have ever dreamed up, but it works. Somehow all of these components work together, and I think it's really nice. On the first coat, it's definitely a little bit sheer. You know, they say right in the description it is a jelly, but I do feel like on that first coat you get a lot of that ultra hollow glitter. You can really see those sparkles just kind of like gleaming off my nails. On the second coat, I did still have a little bit of visible nail line. So I think just because this is a lighter color, there's a lot of glitter in here, it's a little bit more sheer as a jelly. And so I was honestly torn about whether I should do 2 or 3 coats. And in my swatch photo, I actually only did 2 coats, and I thought that it looked fine, you know, in the swatching lights. But when I was doing my live swatch, I decided I wanted to go in for a 3rd coat just to kind of see how it builds up. I will say that you do get a bit more kind of density in the color. You get a lot more of that shimmer, and so I do think that 3 coats is probably the way to go for this one. You're gonna just get a little bit of that nail line covered up, but honestly this is one of those polishes that may never be kind of completely 100% opaque. Alright, and this next one is going to sound very similar. This is Amortensia, and this is plum jelly with a strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter, so it has very similar components to the polish that we just looked at. It's just a little bit of a different color. This plum is just like satin on your nails. It's such a gorgeous color. It works really, really well with the shimmer in here, with the ultra hollow glitter. They just contrast perfectly, and I just love this combination here. I did get a little bit of flooding in my cuticle on my middle finger, but I think that that was user error. I feel like this polish is really easy to use. It's not hard to apply. It's not super thick, nor is it super runny. It's like the perfect viscosity, if you will. And I think on 2 coats, this one gets absolutely perfectly, you know, like leveled out, perfectly opaque. It's just a gorgeous finish. I really love this color. I don't know that this is a polish that I will wear often. I just think that those hollow flakies kind of stand out really, really brightly in this polish, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm sure that this one is going to be a favorite for a lot of you. So that's Amortensia. Alright, this one on the other hand is one that I can see myself wearing. This one is Draught of Peace, and this is dark blue jelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. That's gonna sound familiar. This one, the hollow in here just absolutely stands out from that base. It goes on really nicely. Again, it's gonna be a little bit sheer because it is a jelly, like I just read, but it is a little bit of a deeper, darker color, so I think on this one, on 2 coats, you get like totally opaque. There's no visible nail line. It's really gorgeous. And holy moly, can you see that aurora shimmer in my swatch photo? I just think that it stands out so lovely. It's almost like an aqua color or something. It just really kind of pops out of that dark blue base, and I just think it is absolutely stunning. So again, the formula on this one is really, really nice. It's easy to apply. I do feel like the ultra hollow pieces are a little bit chunky. Like, you're gonna want a good top coat on this, but they're not gonna be hard to remove by any means. They might get kind of like stuck around your cuticles, but that is it. Awesome. So that is 2 coats of Draught of Peace. Alright, and so far we have looked at several of those kind of aurora, shimmer, hollow, glitter polishes, and then there are a couple in this collection that have a slightly different formulation, just like this one. This one is Vipera Evanesca, which sounds like a pop band or something, but this is green jelly with shifting iridescent flakies and gold flakies. So there are a couple in this collection that have that kind of combination of components. This one I think it's green, but I feel like it's a very kind of blue leaning green in my opinion. Even the base color is a little bit more like teal in my opinion. And the first coat was pretty sheer. This is one that I did 2 coats in my swatch photo, and I wasn't sure if I should do a third coat, so I am going to go in for a third coat, because if you just look at kind of my first nail, it just looks a little bit uneven still. You're not really getting kind of the depth of base that you're getting in the bottle. In the bottle, it looks like a super dark, almost like forest green. And so I am going to go in for a third coat and see what happens. I actually tested a third coat on my middle finger, and you can see it looks right. That's where it should be. So this one I'm going to say definitely go in for 3 coats. You just get so much more depth of that base color. I think it's really, really worth it. But it's easy to do like 3 thin coats. It'll dry nice and fast. And so you're looking at 3 coats of Vipera Evanesca. All right, and now we're back to one of those hollow glitter polishes. This one is Finite Incantatem, and this one is a dark purple jelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. So this one is a little bit more kind of purple leaning, whereas the Amortensia one that we looked at that was a plum, that one was a little bit more red. They're definitely both a little bit purple, but this one is, I think, a stronger purple. I'm not sure if I'm doing a great job describing those, but they are definitely different. They're not, you know, similar, even though they're both kind of like purple with the same, you know, elements in them. I think this one's really nice. Again, I really enjoy, it's kind of like a blue purple, and then that shimmer gives you that like pink or kind of like fuchsia purple tint, and so it's lovely. You get kind of all the spectrum of purple, I guess. And this one on 2 coats, you get totally opaque. It's really, really nice. I do think the shimmer really helps because it just reflects so much light back at you and gives you such a lovely finish. So you are looking at 2 lovely coats of Finite Incantatem. All right, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love this one. This one I actually don't have a description for. This one is vulnera sanentur, and this one I'm gonna describe as like a burgundy red jelly with those shifting iridescent flakies and then some gold flakies. This one reminds me a lot of a Cirque Colors polish that was just released. It's not identical, but definitely reminds me a lot of it, and that Cirque Colors polish had actually been on my list, but I took it off once I swatched this polish. This one is so fun, and it looks so fiery on your nails, like so fiery. On 1 coat, you're getting a nice kind of wash of color and also of flakies, and this one went on a little bit more evenly for me than the green one that we looked at, which I think makes it opaque in 2 coats, because then when you put the second coat on, it really deepens that base. It gives it that like burgundy rich color, and you get the layering of those flakies. So you could probably do a third coat on this one if you feel like you want to have even more, you know, flaky pond layering, but I really felt like 2 coats was plenty for this one, and I was kind of at the color on my nails that you have in the bottle, so I think this one is perfect. All right, next up we have Polyjuice Potion. This one is a teal crelly with shifting iridescent flakies and gold flakies. This is probably the spell, if you had to ask me to make a list of potions and spells from Harry Potter, Polyjuice would definitely be on the list of ones that I could remember. This one's pretty popular. This one definitely, the formula is a little bit thicker. You know, it's described as a crelly versus a jelly, and I think you can really see that, especially in the like swatch photo here. It definitely has a little bit more kind of opacity. It's not quite as translucent, and the flakies, that means kind of just like pop out instead of like floating within. I'm not sure if I'm describing that well, but I think you can see the effect is a little bit different with this one on the nail. And so in 2 coats, because of that thicker formula, we are getting all the way to opacity, and you get this really lovely bright teal base, and then those gold and iridescent flakies really do just kind of like pop out of that top layer, and I think it's really nice. This one, although it's thick, is not like hard to work with, and all of these flaky polishes are going to be easy to remove. They're not going to stick at all, so they will be perfect to remove. All right, this one is for all of you purple lovers out there. This is such a gorgeous purple polish. This is a Resto Momentum. This one is described as a dark purple jelly. Nope, this one is described as a blurple jelly, sorry, with shifting iridescent flakies and gold flakies. So this one is definitely more of the like cooler toned purple than the kind of plum and purple jelly that we saw earlier, which is nice. It gives a really nice kind of different shade in this collection. She really hits on all of the possible darks that she could have made in this collection, which I think is really fun. This one, I just never love cool tone purples on my skin tone. I'm much more of a like warm, you know, winey purple person, but I do really appreciate the combination of the flakies and the base in here. I do think they look really nice. And for those of you that like the kind of more cooler toned purples, you're probably gonna love this one. It is a really wonderful combination. This one has a great formula, just like the others, and it's another one of those that is going to be opaque for me in 2 coats. So that's 2 coats of a Resto Momentum. Okay, this one is our second Crelly in the bunch. This is Liquid Luck. It's a white Crelly with gold flakies and Aurora shimmer. And I think you can see that it is definitely a little bit sheer on this first coat. You do get a lot of those gold flakies and a lot of the Aurora shimmer. So I feel like even my first coat is, you know, a little dainty in terms of the color, but you're getting a lot of those flakies and details and all of that stuff. So it is really, really pretty. It's kind of a nice like wash. You could probably wear this as 1 coat if you're into those like sheerer manicures. On 2 coats, this one is going to build up a little bit more deeply, so you're going to get a little bit more of that kind of white base. I would say this one's almost like an off-white base, but anyways, they describe it as a white Crelly. And I do still have some visible nail line. I still have some kind of patches that are not super opaque, so I personally am going to go in for a 3rd coat, but I believe that there are a lot of people in the world who will wear this one in 2 coats, and that's totally fine. I think it looks 100% passable on 2 coats. In 3 coats, I feel like you just get more of the color that's in the bottle. You know, you get a little bit more of that creaminess. I definitely think you want to do thin coats on this one, because if you're going to do 3 coats, you're going to want them to be able to dry quickly and make it more likely that your manicure will last. But I definitely think 3 coats is the way to go on this one. I really enjoy this one. I think that the flakies work really well in this base. I like the addition of the Aurora shimmer. It gives it a little bit more kick than some of the other gold flaky polishes that I have, and I think this one's really, really lovely in 3 coats. All right, next up and last up is Apparate. And this is one actually, I just realized, I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier, but I don't have descriptions for this one and then one other in this collection. So I'm just gonna make this one up. I'm gonna call this one a black jelly with shifting iridescent flakies. I think that sounds right, looks right. This one, I actually had kind of a hard time with this application. I feel like it goes on a little bit streaky for me. It could just be that it's such a dark color that the streaks are super apparent, and maybe they were there in the other polishes as well, and I just, you know, didn't notice them as well. But on 1 coat, I was like, oh, I really don't like this. But I do think that on 2 coats, it gets a little bit more coverage. I don't think you need a 3rd coat. And I think I also just got a couple like really big flakies on my index finger, and that nail is a little bit smaller, and so I just was having a hard time kind of getting them to place around. So I think the effect that you get on this one with 2 coats is really nice. Those iridescent flakies in the black base are super shimmery. You get like so many rainbows. It's really pretty. I just had a little bit of trouble with application getting it to look even, but I do think that like the final product with top coat and 2 coats in my swatch photo looks really nice. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. The 2 from this collection that I was floored by are Liquid Luck, which is the really pretty kind of off-white Crelly with those gorgeous gold glitters in here. This has a little bit more pizzazz than some of the polished gold flakies, because there's also some of those kind of small glitters and that iridescent shimmer in here, whereas the polished ones are kind of just the gold flakies. And so I do really love the polish formula. I like how simple they are, how just kind of elegant they are, but this one is really, really fun, and it had a pretty good formula. I mean, I did build it up in 3 coats, but you might get 2 coats depending on how, you know, visible your nail line is, how long your nails are, all those, you know, all the factors. But I really did enjoy this one. And then the other one that I loved was vulnera sanentur. I'm gonna write the name on the bottom of the screen so that you know what I'm talking about. This one is really gorgeous. It had these really strong, intense, kind of red, gold, bright pink flakies in here, and it just like looked like fire on my nails. It's so beautiful. This is the kind of polish I want to wear around like Thanksgiving time, around that kind of like end of November time that we are currently in. I just love how this looks. It gives you so much depth on your nails. 2 coats, and it was gorgeous. I love this one. Awesome. As always, let me know what you thought about this collection. Are you planning on grabbing anything from Glam Polish? Have you grabbed things from Glam Polish in the past? I would love to hear from you. And as always, if you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button so that we can sit down and hang out and chat about nail polish again sometime. Awesome. I will see you in the next one. Bye.